How to save your first 1 million. Saving your first 1 million shillings is a powerful milestone. It's a proof that you have the discipline, mindset, and patience to build real wealth. Well, today I want to show you exactly how to achieve that, not by luck, not by inheritance, but through practical steps that anyone can follow. The first point, change your mindset. What do I mean by this? Change your money mindset. Your first million isn't just about the money. It's about your mindset. Many people believe that to be rich, you have to be to earn huge salary, but that's not true. The first 1 million is the hardest. It's because it's difficult to earn, but because most people don't believe they can do it, so your mindset is stuck with how I cannot be able to save. But today I want you to change that mindset to how can I save it? Sometimes I get people and when I tell them to save that 1 million, they tell me, niko na bills nyingi, siwezi save. Ask, instead of them telling me, how can I cut unnecessary expenses to even just save 500 shillings per day? And how do you cut these? How do you get these 500 shillings per day? You can start, for me, I started like carrying food from home. I stopped buying lunch when I go to the office, and anytime I just carry my food. And so I used to spend almost 500 to 800 for lunch because you've gone, your colleague today, you're buying them fish, all those. So stop, cut that expense, save even that 500 shillings a day. The key is believing that saving and investing a small amount consistently is better than waiting for just that one big break. Mi nangoja tu, my time will come, nangoja a breakthrough, one big break. No, it's just amount of consistency, saving kidogo kidogo. The second tip is set a specific time-bound goal. What do I mean by setting a specific time-bound goal? You need to have a clear roadmap. Don't just say, I want to save 1 million. Say, I want to save 1 million in 3 years. You see, I've put in 3 years. That is now where the time-bound comes in. Let me give an example. You want to save 1 million in 3 years. That one will require you to put 27,800. But with the power of compounding, you'll only need 22,800. I'm using an 11% net. You get? So if you were to do like three years and you put in a compounding interest, within 3 years and you're putting 22,800, you've already achieved that goal. Someone will maybe tell me, no, for the 22,800 is a bit stretchy. Let's now put, instead of doing it for 3 years, we stretch and do it for 5 years. For 5 years, if you're just saving in a normal account that is not compounding, you'll be required to save about 16,700 per month. But if you do in a compounding interest, you'll need 12,400. Maki, I'm using a net rate of 11%. So when you do your maths, you'll just need just 5 years, putting 12,400, and voila, you've gotten to your 1 million mark. The third tip, pay yourself first. Before you pay rent, before you buy groceries, before you send money for expenses, pay yourself first. I know you have heard about paying yourself first. So this is setting an investment immediately when you receive an income. Like for example, you earn 50,000 on a monthly basis. Decide that whenever I'll take 20%. 20% of the 50,000 is 10,000. I will go into the 10,000 will always be going into your investment account. And in 5 years, you see, our goal was to get to 1 million. In 5 years, you'll be closer by setting aside that 10,000 on a monthly basis to getting to that 1 million mark. And when you want to efficiently do it, set up an automation like a standing order or a checkoff system to at least anytime your income comes in, it's automatically diverted to that investment account. Treat your savings like a monthly bill, and that must be paid. And that is what I mean by paying yourself first. Anytime income comes in, direct inaenda kwa investment account. The fourth point, cut lifestyle inflation. The more we earn, the more we tend to spend. fight the temptation to upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise. I know you want to move to maybe that two bedroom that you have admired in your neighborhood, but for now, let's just try as much as we can to cut lifestyle inflation. If your salary moves upward to maybe from you were used to earn 40,000, you change jobs and then you get an increase of 60,000. Instead of upgrading your house or buying maybe a new car with that extra 20,000, live the same, keep living as if you are still living with the expenses of the 40,000 and save the extra 20,000 in your investment account. Remember in my prior example, I said you will need like around 3 years to get to 1 million. So in this case, if you have an extra 20,000, it means that in 3 years, you'll have gotten to you'll all be almost getting into your 1 million mark. Remember, every shilling you don't have to spend it. Is a soldier working for your future. The point number 5 is save where your money grows. Saving is good, but saving smart is better. Instead of letting your money sit idle in a normal savings account, maybe from the bank earning around 5% interest, move that to an instrument that will offer you high interest rates. Some of the examples that you can consider are money market funds accounts. They give a net of maybe 10 to 13%. You can also consider joining a SACCO. And at the end of it all, for a SACCO, you'll be getting dividends. Or even you can get treasury bills or bonds. Government-backed securities offer a steady and safe returns. Let's say you want to achieve maybe a long-term goal, like take care of your kids to a very good university. The way we always say, watoto wangu, they have to go to Maju. And so you want to have them to make them like have a very good structure in terms of their education, or you want to just have a very comfortable retirement. If you put 100 shillings every day in a money market fund account, that's around 3,000 per month with a net earning of 11%. Let's put maybe for 35 years, because we want to retire very comfortably. That's around 1.260000. What do I mean by this? It's around 1.2 million, 1.26 million as your principal. But after 35 years, it will have gained up to 14.9200000. You understand? What I mean is, from your 3,000, you put it in a compounding interest, it will have gained an extra of 13 million. Let me even remove the extra 66.00, all those. So from your 1.2 that you saved accumulatively from 3,000 for 35 years, you're going to get, after compounding, your maturity will be around 14 million. This means that your compound interest has gained an extra of 13 million in simple terms. You see the power of compounding? Yeah, that's why we are told always embrace time and somewhere that has compounding interest. Point number 6, create multiple income streams. What do I mean by this? It's easier to save 1 million if you have more than one source of income. Have diversified income streams. This is earning from multiple sources. Like an example, if you're relying on one income source, it's a bit risky. Diversify income streams, this will protect you from financial shocks. They happen. Always leverage on opportunities. When you leverage on opportunities, this will help you to maximize chances of financial gain. Leverage opportunities like side hustles, digital jobs, and fast track your journey to your 1 million. Because if you have side hustles and you're leveraging on opportunities, you'll get closer to your goal of the 1 million. The other one is monetize your skills. Like I always say, and I've always said in all my YouTube videos, everyone has a skill. So it's time now to start turning your ability into income. Monetize your skills, such as if you have a skill of coding, you have a skill of emceeing, you have a skill of writing, or even decorating. You can significantly earn from that skill that you have. Get involved in scalable ventures. These are businesses that grow without proportional cost increases. Investing in scalable ventures like e-commerce or content creation can increase your earnings over time, yet you don't have to keep increasing like the capital cost that is needed. Even like let me tell you, that extra 5,000, that extra 10,000, that extra 3,000 from a side hustle makes a very huge difference, but over time. Point number 7, smart investment strategy. Like some of the strategies that I will talk about or I will discuss is 1, compound interest. Compound interest is simply earnings on both principal and accumulated interest. Compound interest is the silent, millionaire maker that starts early. When you start investing early to let your money work for you, okay? That's all about compound interest. The second one is high yield investments. What do I mean by high yield investments? These are assets that generate above average returns. Instead of just letting cash idle in a low interest savings account, the way you like, wengi wanapenda sana to put money in their bank, that is just an average savings. Instead of doing that, instead of leaving that cash in an idle low interest savings rate, explore a high yielding investment like treasury bonds, treasury bills, or even SACCOs. The other strategy is asset accumulation. What do I mean by asset accumulation? This is building wealth through appreciating investments. Asset accumulation, whether it's in maybe real estate, stocks, these are some of the key long-term financial assets that can accumulate. And these ones are where people attain their financial freedom. Then the other 4th strategy that I would recommend is liquidity management. This is achieved by balancing cash availability with investments. Sometimes you get so liquid, but are you balancing it with the available investments around you? Smart liquidity management ensures you have a good emergency fund while you're still growing your wealth. Point number 8, avoid bad debts. If you want to have that 1 million goal, avoid bad debts. Debt can kill your ability to save completely, kabisa. Shylocks, mobile app loans, high unsecured loans from the banks. Those ones can really kill your ability to save. Borrow only if the things that you will borrow for things that will generate your income or grow your value. Like if you're borrowing to put like a business or an appreciating asset, that's good debt, at least because it will give you like an income in return. So that is good debt. But if you're borrowing, to buy an extra, you're driving a Demio right now, but now you want to upgrade to an X-Trail. I don't mean like driving an X-Trail is bad, but that's lifestyle inflation. So if you're borrowing to upgrade your car, no, that's a bad debt. Because as long as this other car can move you from one point to another, if you are borrowing to venture into a business, that's good debt, because the income that you get from that business will enable you to invest more and at least help you to achieve your 1 million goal. So let's avoid borrowing at all costs. Point number 9 is avoid financial pitfalls. What do I mean by avoiding financial pitfalls? Like the first one is inflation erosion. Sometimes when we're investing, we don't factor in inflation. And what do I mean by inflation erosion? This is a loss of purchasing power due to the rising prices. Without smart investment, inflation erosion can diminish the value of your savings over time. So when you're putting that money maybe lying on your bank account and you're getting maybe 5%, and maybe the current inflation in that year will be 5%, that one, your money has not grown. But if you're putting that money, even like in a vehicle that is giving you like 11%, even if inflation is at 5%, your money has at least grown with 6%. Which one makes more sense than just putting it in a place where inflation and the rate are equal, So at least avoid inflation erosion. The second pitfall that people get into is debt entrapment. This is falling into unsustainable borrowing cycles. Avoid debt entrenchment by distinguishing between productive and toxic debts. Like I have explained earlier, between good and bad debts. Then the other one is lifestyle inflation, increasing spending as income arises. Most of us always get ourselves there, and it's a huge pithole because Whenever we get a raise, whenever we know a bonus is coming in, we jump at it and increase our spending. Resist lifestyle inflation. Just because you're earning more doesn't mean like you have to spend recklessly. So just avoid, so that at least by avoiding that, we are almost getting to our goal of 1 million. The final one is speculative risks. Gambling on high risk, unproven ventures. Remember, the other day, people lost millions from an online platform. I'll not mention, I know you saw in the news, like people lost a lot of millions, in the name of investing, in the name of getting rich quickly, in the name of like, I want to be a millionaire, I want to make my million mark. You give them, they tell you have to reinvest in another, like you double the money. But why? As long as as long as avoid a vehicle that is not regulated, do your due diligence well. There is no investment vehicle that tells you they will double your amount of money. No. So just avoid those speculative risks. Avoid them like no one's business. Like those pyramid schemes. Focus on sustainable wealth building strategies always. Point number 10, track your progress regularly. Point number 10, track your you need to see where you are currently versus where you want to go. Like an example, set up a simple savings tracker. Every month log in. How much have I saved? How much interest have I earned? How much closer to where I want to go? And in this case, where you want to go is 1 million goal. So at least this month I've tracked. I saved this, I earned this. I'm closer to my 1 million. This is my deficit. That's basically how you track your progress regularly. And what gets measured is always it will always get improved. And my final point, that is point number 11, mindset and long-term success. And what do I mean by mindset and long-term success? The first one is through wealth preservation. This is protecting your accumulated assets. Once you have hit your first 1 million, wealth preservation becomes a crucial accumulation. The second one is financial literacy. It's good to understand you've already hit your 1 million. It's good to understand money management principles, the basics ones. Financial literacy is one thing that I always say it's non-negotiable. Educate yourself on taxes, educate yourselves on other investment opportunities, like educate yourselves on savings strategies. Come to us and at least book a session and let us take you through to obtain more knowledge on matters regarding money management. The third one is entrepreneurial acumen. What do I mean by this? These are business savvy and strategic thinking. Develop entrepreneurial acumen. This will help you to spot and capitalize on a profitable opportunities. At least with this one, you will be able to know there's an opportunity coming up. And with that one, you can be an entrepreneur who jumps in that opportunity and at least gets more passive income. The last one is resilience in adversity. What do I mean by this? Persisting through financial challenges. The journey to 1 million requires resilience in adversity. Stay disciplined, even if when setbacks just occurs, just be resilient, And those are the 11 tips that I will give today for you becoming a 1 million, I won't say dollar, 1 million person. And I'm waiting for you to achieve that 1 million goal. Stay patient and consistent. Saving your first 1 million is a marathon, but it's not a sprint, There will be months where it will be tough. Emergencies popping up, family needs, unexpected expenses that you had not figured they would pop up. Just don't give up. Adjust if you must, but stay committed to your 1 million goal. Today, where prices are rising, life can feel so much unpredictable, but your investment give you security, options, and peace of mind. At least you will be having that peace of mind knowing that I have a 1 million investment set aside. Even if prices keep on rising, life becomes unpredictable. And lastly, I know saving your first 1 million may not happen overnight, but every day brings you closer and closer to your goal. It's not about perfection, no. It's about persistence and you starting the journey today. The earlier you start, the easier it becomes.